I enjoy creating moments that never existed before. And I enjoy the challenge of manifestation, manifesting dreams. لما احنا رحنا لكندا in 87, I was young, I was 5. I got introduced to music by my father at a very young age. Yeah, he was an architect, but he was always an art lover. So whether it be those long rides in the 90s where he was longing for home, or listening to Inta Umri for 45 minutes straight, or when he would come home from work and be stressed, the thing he would do, he'd go suktu, kulkum suktu, and he'd blast like Tchaikovsky or Barry White or whatever and just lay on the floor. I remember that at a very young age. So music was very therapeutic in my family's home.
I'm a big musical human, and it's a universal. Like I always think, sports and music are extremely universal. Even if you don't understand what's being said or you don't understand the sport, but you're attracted to it. You have a ball, you're walking in Africa or in Asia, you can make friends. Music, you see people jumping and having joy. So I've always wanted to do something with music, although I have a shitty voice.
Hey, listen, I don't have a great voice. That's what you
have such a unique voice.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, and you are pure rap, old school, like how they don't do them anymore. But anyways, I want to come back to you.
I think to what you were saying, I think the human is comprised of two parts, right? You have your spiritual side and your physical side. And I think sport is a representation of that physical expression that we all have, inshallah, unless you're injured. And then music is a spiritual language. Because when you go to a concert, sure, the lyrics are important or the beat, the drums are important, but really it's that collective experience, So I think that's why they're both so relatable and like such international experiences, because it's human. Emergency on planet Earth. At a younger age, at 6th grade, hip hop started like coming to me through. It would just like visit me, And then when I moved to Abu Dhabi, and when I was 13, I left with CDs. And the tape, somebody left a tape at our house after my sister had a goodbye party. They left Enter the 36 Chamber by Wu-Tang.
Okay.
So that was the cassette that I listened to with Tayyara on my way to Abu Dhabi. Sahibi Muhammad Imarati, he had just come from Michigan and he had a Biggie CD. So then I got that Biggie CD and then it just started. Hip hop was so it's like Pokemon cards, Good album is a different character, different abilities, different strengths. And then you start collecting those. I'd go to Liwa Center and order CDs and my collection would grow. And then we started pause taping and recording instrumentals and rapping to it in my bedroom in El Diyar building in Khaldiya. And then it became an expressive force. Habibti, Mayaramina, beautiful human Arabiya. I want to first acknowledge how hard it's being a single and modern woman. What a queen, and all of these men.
Now I want to know more about how, we want to know. What's your creative process when you're at any studio? How do you approach your music? How do you approach how you make a song?
Yeah, I tend to engineer myself. I record my own vocals. I engineer myself unless I'm in a studio where I can't record in this room. So then I'll get an engineer to vocal record me. But I've always been solo in the studio in the first third of my album. Just me, the music, and late nights. Just crafting the bars, choosing the music, choosing the instrumentals. Second phase is I bring in instrumentalists and then record all that. I drive my engineers who mix my music, I drive them crazy because I'm like a 120 layer guy and then we strip down. I do 120 layers of recording. And then the third part of the process is mixing. And then the final phase is sequencing the record.
Are you pro-digital, anti-digital, a mix, a breed?
I love rap, bro. Yeah. And rap is usually just loops and bars, right? So to go with the Mad Lib style, or to go with MF Doom, or with Black Star, or whatever it might be, I like all types of production, which is why I have like classical music moments on my album, rock music moments on my album, and then I have just straight rap shit. I tend to mix genres. I don't do hip hop albums, I do albums, you know?
And you were talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I'm down with AI.
As a musician.
I'm down with AI, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the future, bro. You can't hold on too tight to the past. Like, it's always gonna be there. I don't believe you can, like, I can't go get a Jay-Z verse and put it on my album and think I'm the shit, right? But it's
But as an artist, for lyrics, for creating, brainstorming.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I went back for university in 2000, you know, a year later 9/11 happened. And I had already been recording music that was about who I was, but when I went back to the West, I really realized, oh, I'm Arabi, I'm a Muslim, I'm Iraqi. It became so prevalent in my public persona because of the way society started treating us. Our music became a direct response to what people were doing to us, or how they were treating us in person and through media. And then it just became my career.
But Yassin, يعني you got into a field, and especially hip hop and rap is completely foreign and alien to Arabs. To pursue something that you have to be a bit nuts, because you know, you have to do something unacquainted, unfamiliar. It's not an easy thing, especially 20 years ago. Maybe now it's a bit more. So that for me is the question: how can you sustain or pursue something that you know you're the odd one out? You're probably one of the very first ones that is hardcore into rap and recognized by global rappers who really think you're talented. يعني مش واحد بس متحمس على نفسه بروحه. So how do you continue doing something like that even back then at that younger Yassin?
I think in the early days I wasn't thinking business. I was really just, I needed it. You know, I needed a space to express myself. You have to imagine that, you know, post 9/11, I would be at borders and be trapped at a border for 8 hours trying to go to New York. And I'm Canadian. So like, I had these crazy experiences where I was strip searched or questioned, and يقولوا لي اكتب اسامي كل العرب اللي تعرفهم بالعالم. قلت لهم, are you fucking crazy? You know how many Muhammads I know? You know what I mean? So like, I had these experiences that we couldn't share in public forums, but they were relatable to so many black and brown people or indigenous people around the world. And hip hop was a space where you're really, if you are 100% yourself, it's acceptable. If you're faking the funk in any way, it's not acceptable. But on an industry level, you could fake the funk and be acceptable. You see what I mean? So I saw that at a very young age. I was very aware of the platforms that I was in. The culture itself gave me so much expressive space that I leaned into it more than I leaned into success as a model.
Joey did it again. It's me against the world. Narcy Mars.
شو موضوعك؟
So David, one day I was on, you know how you talk to your phone, you'd be like, I want a pair of Nikes, and all of a sudden you see Nikes on your shisma. So I was talking to Joey around my phone, and Joey's my producer, and I was like, man, we really need a drummer on this Joe Rogan track. And he's like, oh, he kind of gave up on it. And I was like, no, we need like a crazy drummer. But then that night I'm scrolling through my feed, and I find this guy, okay? This Russian drummer. I think he was in Russia at the time. I don't even know where he was. So I followed him, he followed me back. And I was like, yo, this is the guy I'm looking for, subhanAllah, right? So I hit him up, and we just started talking. And he was like, yo, I moved to Dubai, I don't have a studio.
Okay.
Right? And I sent him the song, and he doesn't speak English. And I don't speak Russian. So then he sent me a recording on WhatsApp of him playing the drums, and I was like, yo, this is it. This is exactly what and this is the last track for my album. Like,
Nice.
Digital manipulation, no stipulation. Fuck humanity, get this paper and then we skip the Satan. I think I'm Joe Rogan in the Matrix.
I really want to summarize your DNA, and I want to say, why does Yassin, who is Narcy, Why is Yassin doing what he's doing? What's your why? Have you figured that out?
Yeah, I think I need it. Like I said, it's a space to express. My wife calls me idea machine, because like I have ideas a dime a dozen, but there's certain ideas that sound crazy. When I'll tell you like, I'm gonna make a movie one day. It'll be an award-winning movie. It sounds crazy, but I think it's gonna take me 3 to 5 years to do it. And she'll be like, okay, don't worry, it'll get done, you know? And it gets done. So I enjoy that challenge more than anything, is people saying no to me and me proving that wrong. It's like it's breaking doors. Because I've already broken doors as a Iraqi rapper from Canada, born in the Emirates. I've challenged all those things. So to break through is my favorite thing to do, I think.
So even the teaching falls under that?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I'm in an institution.
تعرفون يدرس في جامعة للعلم يعني.
Yeah, this is my 10th year as a teacher. I've been quiet about it.
It's so cool.
بس يعني I grew my class من 30 واحد ل 70 واحد ل 90 واحد بعدين 200 واحد بالسمستر, right? And I'm in an auditorium. I made the university, I asked the university to give me the auditorium room, which has a full surround sound system and a cinema screen. Even as a teacher, my approach to writing my syllabus or my teaching approach is not, how can you get an A? You already have an A when you walk in the room. It's about you to maintain that A, you know? So when you're studying the work of a Kanye or a Kendrick or the general history of hip hop, it's really about them opening their hearts to other cultures, like what hip hop did for me. So as a teacher, I also have the responsibility to challenge the institution, and the institution is designed, حطك بطيارة روح اطلع بالعالم جيب فلوس ابقى بالبيت. Don't change the status quo. So yeah, it's the same. Absolutely.